Well, I'm going to get political. Yep, I hate doing it, but why not? It's on my mind. So let's talk about immigration. Man, there is a lot of hate towards people that are Hispanic and other immigrant populations, but we're mainly focused for some reason on people from Mexico. Why? Why them? Like, there are so many other populations that come over to America. Why is our system set up the way it is? They they've had the opportunity to change the system to be more efficient with immigration and allow what we need in this country. Because if you it doesn't matter if you want to hear this or not, immigrants are a staple in this country. We need immigrants in this country. Period. And personally, I think the system is exactly the way employers want it. The system that we have right now gives them everything they want. Let me explain. So you have an if they were to, everybody says, okay, well, they should come in legally. That does not give the employers in certain states what they want. They don't want a legal immigrant. They want an illegal immigrant. Why? Because illegal immigrants will work for pay that nobody else will accept, and they will work hours nobody else is willing to accept, and they'll do it knowing that they could be fired at any time because there's no laws really protecting the illegal immigrant. They could just call the cops and have them removed. This is always like there are industries in this country like farming, um, digging ditches and stuff like that, like building houses and all that kind of stuff that rely on tons and tons of cheap labor, cheaper than minimum wage. Minimum wage for them is too high to pick oranges and pick strawberries. But there is a group that will do it for less than minimum wage. And that is people that, because of them being illegal, that's the only jobs that they can get. The system wants them to be illegal. The system is set up the way it is because there needs to be a quick a population of people that can move from one state to another, move in and out of the country like really quickly without any major delays, which legal right now, the way the laws are set up, our immigration system cannot manage, and it needs them to be illegal so they don't complain and they'll do jobs nobody else wants to. Unless you think that, and this is okay, I'm going to say it, Democrats can be just as racist as Republicans. You look at this. Do you think that Mexicans somehow are so different that they are willing to do jobs that nobody else will just because they're Mexican or Hispanic? There's something different about them. Their characteristics make them want to do jobs that nobody else wants to do, like picking fruit, doing work outside in the hot summer, Or maybe because of their legal status, they are forced into those jobs. Now, let's say that they weren't illegal. They're not idiots. You think if they had a legal pathway into our country to do any job that they want efficiently so we can have this workforce, they would pick oranges? Hell no. These people would be like, what's the best job and best paying jobs that we can get so we can maximize the amount of money that we can get while we're in America? And it ain't picking oranges and strawberries. That system is set up so that is the maximum amount. Those low paying jobs, the maximum amount that they can make. They've the Republican and Democratic Party have had a lot of time, years and years and years, to solve these problems. But why? Why would you solve a problem that for employers is perfect? They get cheap, plentiful labor at low prices. Why would they fix that? So they don't. The system is the way that it is because it's doing what it was meant to do: provide employers with cheap labor. Now, they want to kick all of the immigrants out of our country. There goes your labor. Now, who do you think is going to pick these oranges at below minimum wages? Who do you think is going to pick the strawberries and build the houses and all this stuff that nobody really wants to do at the pay that they give? Because I'm sorry to say, there just isn't money. There isn't a lot of money in picking strawberries. There will never be. It's never been, and it will never be a good paying job. Well, there are people in this country that they have no problem with forcing to pick them strawberries. I'm not going to say who. You make up your mind. But it will never be a good paying job. The difference is, and this is what they don't think about, if Americans start doing those jobs, in order to actually work at that cost, it's kind of like the Section 8 and food stamp predicament, right? What they don't tell you is a lot of people that work at Walmart on food stamps and get government benefits because Walmart doesn't pay. Walmart pays so poorly that literally in order to make it ends meet, they have to be on some sort of government assistance. Well, what are you going to do if you kick out the immigrants? There'll probably be some people that are willing to pick strawberries if forced, but they're not going to be able to do it without government handouts. Weirdly enough, something Trump wants to get rid of. I this whole thing on the left and right, the problem is racism and discrimination. They want the illegal immigrant to be the scapegoat for all the problems in the United States right now. They're causing all the crime. Bullshit. They have the lowest crime rates. The people that immigrated into our country from Mexico have the lowest crime rates of anybody in this country. They just don't like them, and they don't want to be honest about it. I don't know if I can go any further. I think I made my point. Our system is set up to do what it's doing. Our system is set up to make cheap labor and to make a cheap labor force to 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 work to basically make money off of. And our country has been doing this since it was conceived. It was the slaves at the very beginning that picked cotton and picked strawberries and fruit. And now that we can't have slaves, they pay them the bare minimum, and now they're just illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants and immigrants in general have been used forever to do jobs that people didn't want to do. Good place to look. Places like New York, places like New Orleans. Most of their harbors were dug out by illegal immigrants at that time, blowing themselves up using, you know, the tunnels in New York. People were dying to make tunnels, and they are mostly immigrants. The system is made the way it is because it works at giving employers cheap labor. And racism is basically looking at the illegal immigrant as a lower class human being, demonizing them and treating them like garbage for doing it. It is so fucking toxic. Our system is so freaking toxic. Rather than looking at them as a group of people that are giving you a service that you're not willing to do, a system that is poorly set up to take advantage of these people, and looking at them as people that are just as worthy of respect as anybody else. Ooh, they talk a different language. Ooh, they have a slightly different color skin. Ooh, they're from a country that we don't happen to like. But I'm done. Into the next one. I promise I'm not going to do very many political ones. I hate doing political videos.